Hey guys, and welcome to episode number 6 of the Shrewsbury Biscuit podcast, where I got to sit with Adam and Rob, who are light painters. They like to paint with light. That's exactly what it is. They go to dark areas and they turn up with instruments and tools and things with lights on, and they take long exposure photographs with these lights, and they make some amazing imagery, and I mean amazing, awe-inspiring photographs they take. None of it's touched up with editing. With you got these editing software where you can add sparks and things like this. These pictures that they take, they're all one photograph. It blows my mind. Okay, and I think these guys need to realise what kind of geniuses they are with a camera. And I'm so privileged to have had them on the show. So thank you, Adam and Rob. Make sure you check out their Instagram. I've got one here called The Art of Light. That's between the four of them. There's 4 of them actually in the group. This is their actual Instagram, The Art of Light, and there's also Adam George Photography as well. So yeah, that's that episode. Also as well, going on today, actually, as I'm recording this, is there's a Christmas fair up at the Dana. So if you're listening to this as it's released on the Saturday, make sure you pop your head into the prison. It's free to go in, and there's lots of like stalls and things inside prison cells, and they made it look really, really nice. I'm going to be popping up there later, maybe with a microphone. I don't know about that, but I'll be definitely going up there. I'll take it with me just in case. I kind of have to sum up a bit of courage to stick a microphone in someone's face and ask them about Christmas, but we'll see. I'll be going up there, and I want to say good luck to the Market Hall as well, the Shrewsbury Market Hall. Everybody's been voting to make sure that the Market Hall retains its place as Britain's favourite market hall. And I really do wish them the best luck. I think it's the best. I love that place. I want to try and pop there the week sometime and get some interviews with some of the stall holders. Next week, we've got an interview with Planet Donut, and I want to add a bit of that Christmas kind of selling spirit that goes on in the market onto that episode. So that's when that's going to drop, which is the 15th. The 15th that's going to drop. So anyway, on to this episode. Hope you enjoy it. And yeah, welcome to the Shrewsbury Biscuit podcast. Hey guys, thank you very much for coming to the Shrewsbury Biscuit podcast. It's really great to have you on here. Yeah. First of all, can I get you guys to introduce yourselves? Who are you?
Well, I'm just a light painter from Shrewsbury at the minute. Yeah.
Yeah. What's your name?
It's Robert Willdigg.
Robert Willdigg, and you're.
I'm Adam George.
Adam George, I know you.
Notorious.
So what's made me bring you to the biscuit then? Because there's a reason for everything. Okay, what have you done that's made me go wow?
Well, we went out recently. We've taken a lot of light painting images from around Shrewsbury.
Yeah.
Shared some on For the Love of Shrewsbury Facebook group.
Yeah.
I think that's where you spotted them. Your paintings. They are paintings, right? I suppose light paintings. Yeah, you're painting with light in a photograph.
I love to get creative people on this show. I spoke to a couple of artists and authors and things like this because I want to find out what ticks, what makes you want to go out and do these kind of things. So what made you get into this? Like this, where did it start for you guys?
Well, for me, it was like just I love photography in general, and I used to explore a few old buildings and stuff, and I've been to like Belgium a couple of times and done a few old castles and chateaus or whatever. And a lot of the time, it's dark when you get there, so you'd have a completely dark room. So I'd literally light it up with a torch, and that's where it started, I guess.
Okay, but what was the first picture you took with something that made you go, that looks really cool? Have you got one of those pictures? Have you got the moment when that happened in your mind?
There's so many.
Really?
So many, yeah. It's just like a so creative thing to do, and it's just everything is totally different.
So yeah, that was my second question. Sort of, how did it happen?
Yeah.
So, how long ago was it when you used to go to these old castles and build and things like that?
Well, it was probably about 8 years ago, something
8
like
years,
that.
Yeah,
yeah, it was a great little hobby.
Chris Shirk come on the show. Is Shrewsbury from Where You Are Not. He does a lot of the urban exploring. Is that kind of what you used to do? Kind of.
Yeah, but I prefer like old asylums, hospitals, and as opposed to houses sort of thing. I prefer bigger places and just places with history. Really, I guess every place has got a history, but when you see wheelchairs and all weird stuff in there that just unused and wasted, it's.
It is a shame, but they always make great photographs, don't they? These really old, especially the old Gothic kind of architecture and things,
Yeah.
I found a love for that when I went to Venice. And some of these, I've never really been into like architecture. I like a bit of history, but as soon as I went to Venice, it sort of sparked something in me. And I was like, oh, these buildings are amazing,
Yeah.
There's something quite nice about capturing the decay of a building. It's really sad that a building that's so nice has been left to go that way.
Yeah.
But sometimes you can't recreate that.
No, you can't.
Like you could spend a fortune trying to recreate the decay, but you're never going to recreate it.
It creates like an emotional response.
Yeah.
Doesn't it? Because I suppose you associate that building as a home.
Yeah.
And to see it decay, and this is my own personal, but to see it decay is kind of sad,
And churches as well, like, they've got so much history and so many people have been in there. And to see it decay, and they're usually in the middle of a city centre or something, and it's just left. There's no one looking after it or what? It's just left to decay and be smashed up.
It's when you're walking and you see like there's ruins and they're just stumps in the ground, and you always imagine what did that look like. So when you do see something that's left, you kind of feel lucky, don't you? That's still there.
It's like the old ruins, like that I like love castles and.
Where are your favourite places to go to do this in Shrewsbury around here?
Well, Morton Corbett, isn't it? I guess
Morton Corbett, yeah. That was where I went for the first light painting evening that I had done. Got some images here. I know they don't transfer onto your show, but I can.
No, that's fine. I'm going to look at a picture, guys. You're not going to see it, but we can actually. Wow, that's fantastic. So what's this in the background then? Is this somebody sat with a hood, is it? Or
yeah, on that shoot, actually, my sister modelled for us. I kind of roped her into it as well.
That's fantastic.
That's just a cape, isn't it?
Yeah.
Along with
one of Rob's trademark cloaks that he always tries to build him into an image somewhere.
So what I'm looking at now, guys, is like an archway with a dim light in the corner. And then on the floor, you've got like a domed grid. If you go into Adam George Photography on Instagram, you can see that there's like a trademark kind of light dome. It looks like a bent over hamster cage, doesn't it? Almost.
Yeah, it's like half a sphere.
Yeah.
It's like it's the basement, isn't it, at Morton Corbett?
Yeah.
It's like an old cellar or something, but a small one.
It's amazing, and you got to remember that that's light, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
so. What we do with the cameras and everything, we set it up on a long exposure photograph. So your camera's probably open for about 30 seconds.
Okay.
And then wherever you move the light during that time, it kind of builds a structure in front of the camera.
I don't understand photography. I really want to, and I think it's amazing. You guys, I think photography is art in every single way. So long exposure, explain that to me. So it's open for a longer time, the lenses, yeah?
Yeah. So it's your shutter. Kind of inside a camera, you've got a shutter that opens and it allows the light to go through. If you think of old cameras, it would open that shutter, allow the light onto the film, and that would burn the image into the film.
Yeah.
Obviously nowadays everything's a bit more digital and it's easier for us. It's cheaper to develop them.
But when you take a picture in the daytime, it's just like an instant. You press the button and it's done. Yeah. It could be because there's so much light information there that it picks it up straight away and captures it straight away and you're done. But at night when it's dark, basically the darker it is, the more of a blank canvas you've got to do whatever you want to do, to colour things in or whatever you want.
It's amazing to hear about all this sort of stuff, because like it's crazy. Like when I looked at this picture you shared on For the Love of Shrewsbury, I don't know what to call it. It got told to me on my other podcast.
Wire wall photography, that one.
Yeah, that was a wire wall one. It was amazing. It's just this. It was like an underpass tunnel, and at the end you were like spinning. It looked like a fire gate. It looked amazing. And when you look at a piece of art, I don't know what it's called. Maybe someone that's art artistic will tell you. But when you look at something and it takes you to another place, when you look at a picture and you kind of everything else just drowns out and everything goes silent, and for a couple of seconds it's just you and that image. That's what happened to me, and I was blown away. And I was just like, wow, I need to speak to this guy straight away. As soon as that happened, I was like, yes, get him on the show. So who's the Jedi and who's the Padawan?
Well, Rob definitely got me into it.
Yeah.
I've only been doing photography since around June this year.
Yeah. How old are you again? Sorry.
Mate, 31.
31. You don't know? Wow, really? You don't look 31.
I told him that. Look like a big kid,
That's
don't
flattery.
I'm kind of 32. Look and feel 50. So you've only been doing this for a short while. So you've learned a lot. Rob invited me along to another photography group we're in, but it's more of like a photography community. There's lots of different aspects. Everyone's got their own interests in that group. That one's Shutterbugs. Shutterbugs, yeah, give them a shout out. What's up, how's it going, Shutterbugs?
Yeah, they're a great little group and really supportive as you're learning and everything, so they're worth checking out. But everyone's got their own little aspect of it that really like hits them and they want to learn more about, maybe portraits or landscapes, or for us it was the light.
So everybody brings something separate to the team that that benefits the team.
And anyone who needs advice or whatever, and the advice is there. Everyone knows everything.
So what these groups, is there any minimum requirement to join these groups? Do you need to have a certain type of camera, or you got to
just an interest, and that's.
And to not be a pain in the backside, scare off the wildlife. If you think
I don't know, they let me in.
Just about.
So what do you guys do for a living? Is this what you do for a living? Do you sell?
No, I make tarpaulins.
Yeah.
So it's that keeps me busy. Yeah.
How about you? What do you do?
I'm actually a CCTV engineer.
Really?
So I work with cameras and then I play with cameres as well.
Different
kinds, different kinds.
I worked with CCTV for years. So is this something you thought you'd be doing? You say you've just been doing photography for a short while. When you weren't doing photography, is this something you ever thought of doing? Like, how did it happen?
It was an idea I played with for a while, but I kind of challenged myself to learn something new this year.
Yeah.
So still learning, still plenty to learn, but it's going well.
Yeah, he's just gone in at feet first, haven't you? Really, he's just like straight in there, and he's willing to learn. Like, and he's it shows in his photography, like, that he wants to learn, and he's so keen to do it.
I do have a couple of friends that do photography. Kieran Griffin and Marnie B Photography. I give them a shout out on the show. They're great, and you see that you've got to have a passion. You've got to be there, haven't you? Go to the events. I mean, Kieran he does like WRC, and he goes to the hockey games, and so does this take up a lot of your time then, getting out there and getting these shots, or is it just as and when you feel like it?
It's a hobby, isn't it?
It's a hobby.
We enjoy it that much, but it is a hobby. We don't make any money; we lose money out of it.
I know what that feels like. I'm a podcaster.
It's great, especially now during the winter months. It gets darker a lot earlier, so we can finish work and you can pretty much grab your camera and go straight out for a few hours if you can fit it in somewhere.
I mean, that's the advantage with light painting. You can just literally do it in your back garden if there's not much light about, sort of thing. So
yeah,
not
these
like
pieces
an expensive hobby, like,
These pieces are amazing. I think people will agree with me that people would pay for these things. Have you ever thought of putting these things up in a gallery somewhere? Printing them off, getting prints?
Not really as yet. What we have started doing now, there's usually a group of 4 of us that go out, because to construct these photos you need like someone to push the buttons on the camera, someone to move the first lot of light, and it can take a few different steps to construct an image.
How long does it take to do one shot?
Usually about 30 seconds.
Really?
Yeah.
So there's not a lot of do it again.
Well, we spend up most evenings doing it again and again, and you'll start off with a basic principle. Find your scene, find what you want to create. Then we'll all kind of brainstorm, put an idea together, and then it builds throughout the evening, doesn't it?
It's quite physical sometimes as well, because you're getting up, chucking things about, like, and after about an hour or two or whatever in the freezing cold running about.
Yeah.
What about the
ran-
first time you
Way
tried
actually.
this? When you hadn't really done it before, how long did it take then? Was it like one of these
it's-
where you just a natural, or did it?
Well, luckily for me, I had Rob showing me the ropes a little bit when I started. So I remember we were down in Morton Corbett cellar, and it's that image that I showed you not long ago, and we were creating this dome. And it's actually a very strange rig of a bicycle wheel and.
Yeah, you brought this in to see me when Rob came in with this carry this thing. I was like, "Where have you put your bike?" I thought,
That outside.
but it's not. It's an old bicycle wheel with lights attached to it,
Yeah,
and this is what you
basically
use.
fairy lights. Just put even gaps all the way around, and then you've got a pole through the centre where the axle would be, sort of thing, and that's the radius of the wheel, sort of thing, and then you.
And
Just,
so what do you do? You just spin that
yeah,
around.
well, you just put it on the floor, and then just spin it, do one full circle,
Oh, fantastic!
and it's done. Basically,
Oh my God.
so it's so simple you wouldn't believe it. I mean, some of the images from it, you think it.
And they are fantastic as well. If you imagine, if any of you guys have been lazy and not going to check out the Instagram account, make sure you do. But I mean, if you're not, imagine like a lightsaber from Star Wars, and take that lightsaber and spread it into a domed cage. So, what were you guys like when you were young, as far as photography is concerned? When you were younger, what were you like as youngsters?
Well, I think because my dad had a camera, shall I say?
Yeah.
And I sort of picked it up at school, sort of thing, late school age, sort of thing. And I didn't do a lot with it, sort of thing, because I was just borrowing it. But it's just something that stayed with me. And about 10, 15 years ago, I just decided to get a camera or whatever. And
That's
took it
fantastic.
from there,
It's
really.
cool. So that was from a young age. You're kind of like, this is
Yeah.
cool. I like this.
yeah,
You
it
know.
just bedded the seed,
Yeah, that's fantastic. You showed me this picture now. What's this one?
That was our most recent shoot, actually. That was in the cellars of the Prince Rupert Hotel.
Oh, right. Okay.
They've got some haunted cellars there. So we went down. I went on a recent ghost tour down there. There's a local chap, Stan Sedman. He's on the Love of Shrewsbury group, and he
I've
does
heard
some
about this
brilliant
guy.
tours.
I've been told to get him on the show. So
Oh,
Yeah,
you really
definitely.
should. I couldn't recommend him highly enough. He's
Yeah.
an absolute star.
yes, he's on my to get list. Him and Lorraine.
Yeah.
Lorraine
Oh,
Fletcher.
yes,
Yeah, she's
Lorraine.
going to come on the show. We've had a few scheduling issues. I was meant to get one this month, but I was like, oh my god, everything. You can see how crazy my house is at the moment. So this is an amazing picture. How do you do the smoke? Is that just with a smoke machine and then with it bouncing off?
It's actually an EL wire. It's like a fluorescent cable. I've got one in my bag. I'll get it out in a second for you. And it's like a long strand of luminescent cable.
Okay.
And as you whip that cable back and forth, the light affects the image in a slightly different way. Almost makes a smoke. Well, there you go. Rob's got a bundle of them out.
Okay. So,
One's
amazing.
lit anyway, but
Do you remember those bands that everybody used to wear in the 90s? I don't want to say what people used to call them, but they look like them, and they're actual lights rather than just a That's amazing.
So you've got a little. They just run on AA's, so everything that we use is
Wow,
portable.
that's fantastic.
And then you can just turn it on. You whip it round, and it makes almost like a smoke effect.
yeah,
That's really, really cool.
as long as you keep it moving.
Yeah,
Is that what they are made for? What is that actually normally for? Is it just for decoration, or is that for photography?
you can buy them for people can build them into clothing, and you can
Yeah.
have like the
Put
EWL.
them in your car and underneath
Yeah.
your car or whatever.
Oh
so
yes,
they're
I see.
glad.
Yeah, you can have them through your doors and stuff like that. That's really cool.
But they're pretty cheap, aren't they?
Yeah.
To be fair.
Bit of a
So
pimp my
creative. So,
ride special.
and I tell you what, right? This one that you just showed me, the colours in it are fantastic. You could sell that. I'd have that on as a poster on my wall. You know, it's really
Yeah.
really cool. Your backdrops to movie posters or things like that. You
Yeah.
could definitely use that.
Yeah, there's not that many people that actually have an interest for it, I guess. You know, they just-
until people become aware of it, and
This
then
is
they
what this is
see it,
for.
and then they're just like,
Yeah.
"Oh wow! Like how do you even start doing that?"
But only I would come up with the idea of taking something so visual and so beautiful to look at and be like, let's talk about it on a podcast. Where you
Yeah.
can't see what's going on.
Yeah.
But my goal here is to pick your brains and to see why you would do this. I mean, I've got a question here that says, talk us through how this came to be. So how did you guys meet? You say that you met Rob about this. How did you guys meet?
Well,
And what
it was
happened?
through Facebook originally, wasn't it?
Yeah, I just saw his imaginative images, and I could see he was keen. I invited him, I think, to the Shutterbugs meet or whatever, and
Yeah.
took it from there, really. I was doing a bit of like painting out the back of the pub or something,
Yeah.
and he came along and joined in or whatever and had a go and really enjoyed it, I think.
I'm definitely one that likes tinkering, so with this kind of photography, like a lot of our lights at home, when I've got time, I'll create something new, or I'll see an idea and I'll go, oh, I'll see if I can make that. Because some of the specialist equipment can cost a lot of money.
Oh, I imagine. Yeah, imagine.
But 9 times out of 10, you can find a DIY version that is a lot cheaper. There's a company called Light Painting Brushes, and they do a lot of specialist.
Oh, so there is like a
adapters.
community for light painting then?
Yeah.
Is it a good community?
Yeah.
Is it competitive?
It's
or
good.
is it...
They're getting
Everyone
more
seems
common,
quite
isn't it,
friendly,
really?
yeah. Especially like now, one of the guys, Callum, he's got Instagram, Capture Me If You Can, which is a great name for it. He's got one of these new phones, and it's actually got a light painting mode on it.
Oh, God.
So you can, on your phone, you can just click a button, and then as you're creating the orbs and all these different light patterns, you can see it being constructed on your screen on your phone.
No.
So it shows that it is getting more recognised, where that feature's being built into mobile
But
phones
now
now.
you guys are out of business. Okay, thanks for going into it. Now, you can take these things on your phone. These what they called? What's it called? When you filters, yeah.
Yeah.
My mind went blank then. You could take a filter and you could turn it into a Picasso painting or a mosaic or something like that. It will never be the same as an actual painting. So keep doing what you guys are doing, because I think it's fantastic. So how's your Instagram going? How long's your have you got like an Instagram for you guys conjoined, or is it just yours?
Yeah, no, we've got a conjoined one with the 4 of us that normally go out. So there's myself, Rob, Callum, and Paul.
Yeah.
And it's The Art of Light.
The Art of Light. I'm going to check it out right now. How's that doing?
Yeah, it's going well. We've
Hasn't
only
been up that long,
recently.
has it? Yeah,
I can pop it up on here for you if you like.
we just showcases a bit of the stuff that we've done, and I mean
We've all got a slightly different style and editing style and stuff.
yeah.
Oh my God,
So-
some of these are amazing. I'm going to give you a follow, definitely. So you follow.
There's another one. Tick.
That's 2 now.
Yeah.
Some of these are. Oh, look at that. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
How did
So-
you?
That once again, that's with the wire wool, but as you like all the editing software and stuff now, you can kind of edit a slight different
layers
effect
and stuff
to
on
it,
it, yeah.
and that one.
The one I'm looking at right now looks like the opposite of The Ring. Do you remember The Ring, the movie with the girl climbing out there?
Yeah.
It's the opposite. So the ring's white instead of black. That's amazing. Fantastic.
The wire wool gives a really good effect. It's almost like a portal type. If you've seen what really stuck out to me was in Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
Have you seen them? And when he makes all the portals and goes through to another area, those little rings look very much like the wire wool.
Very reminiscent of that, and that's when I saw that. Like, 'cause that's what I said, wasn't it? It's like a light portal, it's like a gate. This one I'm looking at as well. It looks like the Euphoria, or no, Ministry of Sound.
Yeah.
Ministry of Sound
That's it.
logo. That's pretty awesome. I guess
that one's with a homemade light adapter just on a torch.
Yeah.
If your listeners check out the Instagram, it's the image we're looking at now is like a blue orb, but it's made out of like bricks of light. So
It's almost as if like 20 people are standing with tablets with a blue screen, and they've just created like a dome, like a globe. It's fantastic. It's really good.
We were going to do it that way, but it was a bit labour intensive. We couldn't get 20 people with tablets to turn up. So
Do it the way you know.
that one's actually made with a piece of perspex adapted to a tube, and then it's got a dishwasher tube adapter on the end of it, so it'll fit on a normal torch.
I can just imagine you guys walking around your houses and just pressing your torch against things. So what does that look like?
Yeah,
What does that
that's
look
it.
like? I imagine.
all
Wow,
about-
what's this?
There you go. I've got the tool here that we use, but If you flick that to a strobing effect,
Wow.
and then as it moves, you'd get
Can I get
your
a picture of you?
blocks of light.
Sounds really odd, but you know.
Well, no, help understand what's going on.
My laptop. That's wicked. That's really cool. I haven't got long exposure on my camera. Or have I? I don't know. I just don't know.
There you go. You've probably got the technology. You just never used it.
Yeah, you know, I'm one of these that like I'll take it at a slight angle just to add a bit of, you know, whoa to my
Yes,
pictures. You know, have you ever made something like this? Have you ever just like thought, oh, we'll just try this as a laugh and made some amazing effect that is something quickly you've just made? You know.
Yeah, I think so.
Well,
we do that with everything, really. We just see how the night goes.
Yeah.
We'll start doing something simple, most probably, and it'll progress from there. We'll sort of think, well, wouldn't it look better if there's something in that corner, or you know,
I've got
light someone up.
it's a bit.
Well, we like doing like cars as well.
Cars,
You
yeah.
know, like painting cars. So we
Yeah.
want to do a bit more of that.
Wow,
I think
let me
at
see
the minute.
this.
I'll show you a bit of behind the scenes. So we've got start off with like a basic image. We've got a car. Went to a shoot when we had a BMW Z3 in orange.
Yeah, that looks cool.
So you start off just with a car in pitch black. So we've lit it up with a torch to make the car stand out. We like had different lights around the vehicle. So we've got like green lights underneath it, green light in the
Wow.
cab. Then as the image progresses, you're forever adding like a new idea. So now we've got green light coming out the front of the car as well.
Wow.
We've got
Oh my god, that looks
got
amazing.
different. We've got a 2-meter pole with LED lights down it. That creates like almost like a light curtain behind the picture.
It reminds me of there's a new game out called Forza Horizon 4, and behind all at the beginning of the race there's a car and a guy dancing, and behind it you got like this giant screen with lights behind it, and that's what it looks like to me, and that was fantastic.
And then we build right up, keep playing with ideas, and then we ended up with an image. We've got this like a crazy light swirl behind the car.
That's fantastic. You reckon you could send that to me sometime?
Yeah, not a
Yeah,
problem.
I'll send that
Yeah.
to me, and then what I'll do is I'll say to people like, if you've got a car that you really love that needs a bit of attention, you know, your baby, get in touch with these guys because they can really.
Well, yeah.
Make-
Have
We
you
should-
got the one with the engine in that shows the
Yes,
engine?
we did a Subaru as well that evening, and in one photo we did the engine bay and the car all in one shot. So
Oh my
It
god!
gives-
Without taking the bonnet off.
yeah, like you can see that along the front of the car, you can see that the bonnet's closed, but
Oh my
we've made
God.
the bonnet transparent so you can see the engine,
That's
but also
fantastic.
see.
So you took
the rest of the
two
car.
pictures and then
It's all in one photo.
that's in one photo.
Yeah, that's the good thing
That's
with the light painting. You
amazing.
can really manipulate what you see.
That's really clever. That's really clever. And you know what, Pete? There is a market for this. You know, you should get a job with Max
Yeah.
Power
That'd
or
be
Top
nice.
Gear
We've got-
magazine.
We should have another one coming up shortly with a. We should be doing a white Porsche sometime soon. So.
Yeah, you should get commissions for these. I mean, these people out there that can afford these cars and want these cars. There's definitely somebody out there that would hang a canvas of their
Yeah,
car
yeah.
on their mantelpiece.
definitely.
You know.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you guys, if you're listening and you love your car, chuck these guys a few quid and get them to do your car for you, because you get looking like something like the Fast and Furious with some snazzy lights behind it, and it does look fantastic. Take my word for it, okay? So what is the future for this? What's the future? Are you guys gonna create a
Keeps
website, make
developing, I
money?
think. Yeah,
Yeah.
it keeps developing. You know, if you, I guess, the more you do it, and you know, if you get some income to make bigger tools and bigger and better, then you can just the world's your oyster.
It's not fair for me to keep mentioning money, to be honest, because that's not what it's about, is it?
No,
It's art.
not at all.
And
We haven't taken a penny, have we?
No,
Anyone? We
no,
do
it's
it
a-
because we enjoy
yeah.
it. But
yeah,
And half the time it's the challenge as well.
Yeah.
Like we can turn up somewhere. I don't know if anyone's got any interesting buildings, or if
Yeah.
you're on a farm and you got like an old ramshackle barn somewhere or something like that. Like we can turn up, see what we can do with it. We'll always give you a copy of the images and
Yeah,
stuff,
yeah.
but sometimes it's just that challenge of having
It's about creating, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I understand that with this show because, I consider myself as an artist. I'm a voice artist. My mother-in-law keeps saying to me, "Oh, you need to make money, Alex. You need to make money from the podcast." She's from South America, so she does money. And I'm like, no, it's not about that. It's about finding ideas.
Passion, I think.
Yeah, ideas.
I think it's we're passionate about what we do, and we just do it. We don't
That's
need
it. I think
money to do it.
everybody
it's
needs
our
an
time.
interest.
It's just our time, really, isn't it? And,
Yeah, that's it.
we enjoy taking photographs and making a bit of art.
Yeah.
I think
It's
why
one of
not?
those things that when you're having a night where you're just like, nothing on the telly.
Yeah.
Especially in winter for us, like it's great because as soon as we finish work or whatever, we can.
It's dark, yeah.
We've got like a little chat group. We can always drop a message. Oh, does anyone fancy going out one night this
How
week?
often do you guys meet up then? On average.
It's been quite regular recently, isn't
Yeah,
it?
too much.
Yeah, probably a couple of times a week at this
Really?
at the moment, but it's just when we can fit it in, when we can squeeze in it. Everyone's got their own commitments and stuff, so.
So is this what you guys do to kind of wind down, or is there other things that you guys like to do? Is this...
Yeah, this is kind of like my escape from work and everything else. It's just quite nice to switch off from everything else and work on, well, how can we improve that? How can we improve that image again and again? And then
I think we're just a bit thirsty at the minute, aren't we? We just want things to do, and obviously you run out of locations.
It's good to get it in while you can, because like you said,
local.
we've only got like 3 months left of darkness like this. Most people are like, I can't wait for it to be light again. Your guys are like, no.
Yeah, we love it.
Well, being ginger as well, I've got to avoid the sun.
I've got a friend who moved to Australia a couple of years ago, and I was like, you're gonna die, and he's actually just done a 10k marathon, so he proved me wrong. He's ginger, and I was just like, you're gonna frazzle. What I was gonna say was what was I going to say? What's the goal? Where would you like to go? If anywhere in the world where you could go and take a picture, paint.
The beach on California, I reckon.
Yeah.
Do an old classic car, and that'd be it. That'd be me done,
Yeah.
I think. Something like that.
Yeah. Doing a light painting on the salt flats would be quite cool, wouldn't it? Salt flats.
Oh, I get you now.
All the old cars on the salt flats. That would be amazing, but I think that we're a long way off doing stuff like that.
Just run for about 20 minutes. I'll take the picture. Come back.
I think if we did like a classic car show in America or something, that'd be pretty amazing.
Well, even if people have got classic cars here, we'll do them for them.
Yeah.
Well, maybe you can get a sponsor. I know it's not about money, but if you can get someone that'll be like, guys, we got an event. We'll buy you a plane ticket, get you over here. That'd be amazing. So we'll get your name out there.
That's never gonna happen. It's nice to dream.
You can start a Patreon account. A Patreon account will give donations off people. It's a great idea. I was going to say, what does it take to plan a shoot then? Do you just turn up and do what you need, or is there a lot of planning involved?
Because there's 4 of us, sometimes it's like just making sure we've got an evening where we're all free together. But
it depends on what we're doing.
Sometimes we'll go out.
If we're doing a certain thing like a car background, then we know to bring the long light sticks or whatever, and
just make sure you got the right equipment.
Yeah, you got to bring along what you want to do, really. So if somebody's got a levitating idea or something, then you need a stool or something to give you a bit of a higher stance.
What's the most ambitious kind of photo you've done yet? Something that struck to mind that was like, we really shouldn't have done this, guys. It was really hard, I
think when we started doing the cars, that was a bit, because we'd organised to do it and stuff, and then we were like, oh, actually, we haven't done cars before.
Yeah.
So
we blagged it a bit, didn't we?
We were travelling a bit for that one, weren't we? Was Stoke-on-Trent, was it?
Stoke-on-Trent, that one was. Yeah.
For that, so. No, we knew the principles. We knew
it'd work. It's just we've never actually done it in practice, sort of thing.
Well,
I guess we have.
This might work
bit by bit. We
hadn't
backgrounds on other things as opposed to cars, and we've done foreground on cars or whatever. We'd done everything all in separate shots, so we put them all
compile
together.
it all together, don't you, and create one stunning one. I was really happy with how the images came out from those. So.
As any of you like the perfectionist, like no, do it again, or you just like blown away by the.
I think all of us. I think we just
we all tend to nitpick, don't we?
We could do that better. We could do that better.
Yeah.
Or I think if somebody doesn't do something that we like on the image, then we'll do it again until we get it right, and that's how you learn, isn't it?
Yeah, that is. I mean,
Trying to get things
That's what
right.
happens when you get 4 perfectionists together, isn't it? Just like, you all pick fault until it's like everyone's happy, and then you know that it's good.
We try our best.
Christmas is the time for kind of lighting things up, trees, houses, whatever. Have you had any demand on lighting things up for Christmas? Has it had an effect on anything?
Not really. The only thing it's affected me with really is the access to cheap light swords, which are brilliant because you can go uptown, you can buy like a kid's light sword for £3 or something.
Oh, with the light switch. I bet you were like, oh wow, I'll 4 of them.
They're supposed to be for the kids, Adam.
Well, yeah, like I've
Oh
got
my
one
God.
there, and it just strobes away in different
That's
colours,
amazing.
and like you can play around with those, and as you're waving them around, you've got your camera rolling, and you can just see what you can.
Adam
create.
just held up, the stands you see at the light switch and things like that. The little kids' lightsabers that they got. He's got one of them, and it's actually for what you guys do. That's perfect, right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all you need, really. It depends what you want to capture,
Yeah.
I mean, Adam is a bit of a stickler, so he makes his own stuff, 'cause they're a bit
Just
bigger.
tight.
Have you guys got anything that's like really freaked you out that's happened on a shoot, or somebody like scared you? Because you guys are working in the dark. Like any odd stories that you've got from when you've done a shoot?
We've
I
been
don't think
lucky,
we've-
really. haven't
Yeah,
we?
we haven't had anything to.
I think that, as you saw when we came here, we were all dressed in black, to stop the light catching our clothes, sort of thing. So we were not in the shots while we were moving around the image, sort of thing. And we probably look a bit.
We probably look dodgier than anyone else that's going to approach us.
What the bleeding hell are you doing on my land?
I think we're more likely to have the police come and see us than anyone else.
We did have
What we're doing.
we did have that one shoot, didn't we?
Yeah.
Up by there's an archer statue outside the Grange School. It was all carved out of green oak. It's a really nice statue. And we were doing a shoot there, and we had like a few people in the houses just opposite watching us, like grown men playing around with lightsabers. And then the police actually turned up there, didn't they?
Yeah.
They weren't looking for us; they were looking for someone else. But they just, I think they took interest, and then we were showing them on the back of the camera what we were doing and stuff. But
That didn't last long. They soon,
so we're just like,
after
all
that.
right, thanks, bye. Yeah.
What have you thought about any other sort of applications for this? I mean, I know you got like photos, Instagram, things like that. Is there anything else you can use this for that maybe you've put into practice or you want to?
Well,
Advertising, I suppose, is
Yeah.
the only thing I could think of. It's,
we've done like a few almost like trick photography shots and stuff.
That one with the bonnet is unbelievable. I was just like, come on, that's 2 photos, and you're like, no, it's the same photo.
Yeah, that was all in one.
I got to explain that to you guys. It's basically the bonnet of the Subaru was see-through. You could see the engine, but I was like, so you laid the 2 pictures, and really, no, it's because it's a time-lapse photo, or is that the right word?
Yeah.
The long exposure.
Long
photo.
exposure. It's actually the same photo, which is
we
brilliant.
just used the torch to light up the car initially, and open the bonnet, and then just lit up the engine.
Wow.
So obviously gave a bit more time on the engine. And
We've
you got them in one shot.
We've done a few little shots for. We had a shoot at 10 and 6, the new Alice in Wonderland bar in town.
right, okay.
Really nice champagne cocktail bar there, and they were nice enough to let us go in and have a bit of play round.
Nice enough. I bet you did him a favour.
Well, yeah, it's
We'd
mutual.
like to think that, but maybe you
But
didn't.
with different editing, you can do like different shots. So we had a model, Gabby Izzy, on Instagram. She came in and modelled for us.
That's
So
fantastic.
we got a shot where she stood in front of the mirror in a black dress, and then a reflection in the mirror is her in a red dress.
That's fantastic.
So
Is that one photo? No.
no, that's different photos, but it's in one image. At
You
the
guys
end
have
of
got
it,
skills
so-
though. Regardless, you've got really crazy skills, and I really appreciate anybody that's got a kind of creative mind. I love getting my hands on this kind of thing because we've had artists and authors and things like this.
Did you get those of the Morton Corbett one I sent you?
So let me just turn that mic into your mouth a bit
Yeah.
more. That's it.
Let me just pull it up. Yeah, we've got.
Just a couple of pictures I downloaded for Adam earlier. That's a shot of Morton Corbett.
Wow. So
And the outside's lit up with a normal torch. and like Adam said, like an exposure of about 30 seconds, and lit
That's
up the
crazy.
outside with it.
I mean, I love the orb on the outside, but even without the orb, you've got the Morton Corbett that's lit up red. It looks like something from a horror movie, and then the sky behind it. And
The
then
internal's red, isn't it? And the external's just lit up with a normal white torch.
Makes a really powerful image that all the inside and the red lights glowing through all the window openings and everything. But
yeah.
And quite effective in the end.
If anybody's got an event coming up for like next Halloween, they're starting to plan or anything, you guys should definitely. I mean, we speak to people from like the prison and all sorts of businesses. Like, if they've got an event coming up and they need spooky lighting or science fiction sort of feel to something, or a poster making, I think you should definitely get in contact with these guys. They've got absolutely crazy skills with the camera.
They just keep coming up with different stupid ideas and then trying to make them work.
I think it's important as well for people that listen to this show that, you know, whether they're from Shrewsbury or whether they're just finding out about Shrewsbury, to find out that there are creative people and where to find them, because that's what I like to celebrate with Shrewsbury. I mean, with the birthplace of Darwin, you know, who's get more creative than that. So, you know, thank you like very much for coming to talk to me. It's been really great, especially at short notice as well.
Thanks for having us.
How many days has it been? Like 5-6 days since I spoke to you.
Yeah,
it's
about less than a week, I think, isn't it? So.
And this will be out on Saturday because I've had a crazy time with scheduling. So I'm going to get this out for Saturday.
Good.
I've got one last question for you both separately. What does Shrewsbury mean to you? Start with Rob.
I've literally only lived here for a year, so
me too.
I'm just getting used to the place. But like you say, it's got so much history, and going to these places with Adam, you know, finding all these cellars and all the old history, the castle, and you know, you've got so many beautiful buildings here. It's just amazing. It should be a city, really. It's really busy as well, isn't it?
And I guess, like, had you been to Shrewsbury before to sort of sightsee?
Yeah, a fair few times, I used to come from Telford. I used to be from Telford, like, and I'd come over here and visit for shopping and what have you, and it's just a massive place. So much here.
As far as light painting's concerned, it's almost endless. What is it, 400, something like, it's listed buildings with crazy amount of really old, interesting buildings to play with.
It's the architecture, isn't it? It's just astonishing.
I bet you could do something really good with the market hall in town. You know,
yes, definitely. Yeah.
Sometimes
when they're in the middle of the place, it's just, you know, there's so many lights on it. You just want someone to flick a switch. So give us a blank canvas.
That's the trickiest part of planning the shoots, really, because sometimes you'll be there during the day and go, oh, this would make a great place to light paint, but then you'll go back at night and it's all floodlit. So you can't make anything then.
I bet if we spoke to the right people, though, we could sort something out for you, because who wouldn't want to see the market hall or, you know, the Darwin House or something like that lit up like that, you know, on the front page of Visit Shrewsbury.
Yeah, it'd be incredible if we could,
Maybe I can get you in touch with the right people. What does Shrewsbury mean to you then, Adam?
Well, I was born in Shrewsbury. I don't think I could ever move away from Shrewsbury again. But as a child, I lived. We moved to New Zealand for 2.5 years.
Okay, that sounds amazing.
So everyone goes, "Oh, why did you come back?" But we moved straight back to Shrewsbury.
Well, there was a war with a load of hobbits there, wasn't there?
Well, yeah,
nothing wrong with that.
Just kicked off in Middle Earth, did it?
Too many orcs, so you come back.
Yeah. But no, it's, like I say, all the history of Shrewsbury, and I think Shrewsbury's got a certain feel to it as well. It's a very friendly, community-based town, and there's a certain charm to it. I think it's very hard to recreate in other places. I think we're very lucky to be where we are.
It's quite a common thing to hear, is the safe community thing. It's also really refreshing to hear someone that's like from here that hasn't gone, I want to move away, I want to go and make a stand, I'm off to London, like, you know. So that's really refreshing.
I'm not a city. I'm not a city boy.
I've just done a show with a guy called Issa Wuri. He's got a show called Fears and Desires, and he's in London, and he's like, I want to find out what it's like. That's how he talks. I want to find out what it's like outside of London. Yeah, I want to speak to people from different towns and stuff. So I was like, okay, cool. I explained Shrewsbury to him because he's just getting fed up. He's got loads of kids, and it's just London's just too many people and too many noises, and he's getting fed up of it. So I explained Shrewsbury to him, and he was like, Wow. He was blown away by it. He really enjoyed it. So I can't wait for people to hear how great Shrewsbury is. You know what? There'll be an influx of people moving into Shrewsbury and is that Alex Whiteley's show? We all heard it, and I'll get the blame. And
bring him down.
So it's your fault they're building all the houses.
Yeah, that's my fault. I'm bringing them in with the Shrewsbury Biscuit. Guys, thank you very much for coming on the show. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you on there. Have you got? Do you want to give your Instagram or websites or anything else to plug before we go?
Well, there's a few of us on Instagram. There's Adam George Photography. There's
Robert Willdigg, that's me.
Yeah, we've got Callum, who's part of the group. He's Capture Me If You Can.
Yep.
And we've
Paul
got
Cox, isn't there as well?
Irish Paul.
Yeah, Irish Paul.
So
Irish Paul.
He's Irish.
Oh, is he Irish? I never would have guessed. I'm Irish too, but I don't have the accent.
But yeah, it's a good little group. And also with there's a good Facebook group for the love of Shrewsbury.
Of course, we always give them a shout out.
Yeah, and it's really kind of shows a lot of the talent in Shrewsbury, because you get a lot of photographers and stuff that do it as a hobby. Everyone's got their own styles, and it's a really nice group to see how people photograph the town, how people capture it in their own way.
I love that play. That Facebook group is one of the best things that I found. And before I even started, when I first came up with the concept for this show, one of the first people I messaged was Lorraine, and I said I thanked her for the inspiration because, excuse me, because as a newbie, as guys, I've only moved here since last August. Finding that site was one of the best things ever, because you get used to the buildings, the people are friendly, and the inspiration's there to go out and look up, and all
there's so much to be seen, isn't there? They post up every area in the.
It's such a nice little group though as well. Lorraine does such a great job of managing the group and stuff, and then she's supported by like Stan that we mentioned earlier on, and he does different tours of the town, and they're always in super high demand, but he gives up his own time to do those tours, and all the money they raise is donations from the tours goes to a charity of their choosing.
Oh, fantastic.
So they'll tell you what charity it's all going to and stuff.
I'm going to get in touch with Stan, because
amazing.
I really want it. I want people, because we've got listeners from all around Europe that listen to this, a couple in Canada as well, crazy. I want them to kind of get an idea of what goes on here, because I do get a lot of people going, oh my God, like, I mean, look at Issa. Issa was like, oh, that sounds amazing. I want to come to Shrewsbury, like, you know. And if we give them an idea of what goes on in these tours and what you can see, I don't want to spoil it for them, you know, because there's
the amount of knowledge Stan has about the town. It's absolutely amazing.
Yeah, it is.
I did a rooftop tour of the market hall with him, and it's like little things for like, especially probably the younger generation, where we probably don't pay as much attention to the history of the town and stuff, but everyone will know Wetherspoons, like the Montgomery's Tower, and that was called Montgomery's Tower because it was on the same plot as one of the defensive towers of the town.
Oh, right.
So that's where it got its name from. It wasn't just plucked out of midair. And it's like, that stuck with me, and like little facts that you'll pick up from Stan.
So when you're down in shots and Wetherspoons, batten down the hatches.
Yeah, when you're drunk and you feel the need to tell everybody that story.
Did you know? Right, I'm gonna have to get Stan on the show. I think we should definitely do it. I want to reach out to him and be like, we should have like a reoccurring segment where I'll be like, Alex, ask Stan or something. That'd be really cool if people like that. Guys, thank you again for coming on the show. It's been really good having you.
It's been great.
Guys, make sure you give these guys' Instagram accounts a like. Take a look, especially if you run a business and you need something really cool doing with special effects with lights and things like that. These guys will help you out. They've got amazing skills. And make sure you give this podcast a share and give us our social media. You can find us on Facebook at the Shrewsbury Biscuit. It's the same as Instagram, but on Twitter we're the Shrewsbury B1 still. They won't let us fit all that name into it. that's crazy. But guys, thank you very much, and make sure you join me next week. Thanks guys, thanks again.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Thanks, peace out guys.